Welcome to the Naked Relationship Podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are slightly darker this week because we went to the beach and got some sun, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But more importantly, a quick shout out to this week's sponsor, who I've yet to tell you about, babe. By the way, we got a new sponsor. Just kidding. It is fullswapshop.com. You can buy our merch on there. Check it out. Buy some and let us know, and you can be featured on our social media prepping our merch. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
We need to post a picture of you in that.
Oh, yeah.
in that
thong.
Yeah. Honestly, your ass is my happy place. So, like, any time that there's a picture with it on there, I get a little pink on the inside.
You're already pink on the inside. You're red on the outside.
At least my neck's not red.
That you know of.
Then I would really look out of place. Anyway, this is going to be part 2 where we talk about the coital interactions that we have with a very attractive couple who was an amazing couple, awesome people. And we're also going to talk about Kelly's experience, our experience at the Nude Beach. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode.
So we Ubered to the location where he made reservations. We met with them, and I must say, meeting them in person, they were super attractive and cute, and I freaking loved them.
I feel like him and I have a very similar personality, or at least way of doing our jokes or our deliveries, because I'm very deadpan and I think he is too.
Yeah.
And so I knew you'd like that, but he's also a smart ass about it too, which is great. But he's also much more knowledgeable about a lot of things than I am. And so it was just it was interesting to see. I wouldn't say it was looking in the mirror because he's a lot better looking than I am, but it was just an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. So we get there, they're super attractive, they're all dressed up, because I felt a little bit overdressed. I didn't think they were going to be as dressed up as we were, but they were, and I loved it. I thought it was super cute that we were both dressed up, meeting people for drinks. And so we kind of closed the place down, because I think he said everything closes around 11, which is what, our area here where we live closes around the same time. So we ask if it's okay to continue hanging out with them and maybe go into their place for drinks. And then Adam over here cuts in with super abrupt, hey, we didn't bring any condoms. Did you bring condoms? And I felt like that was a little bit rude for you to ask, and it kind of killed the vibe a little bit almost.
Well, I said that we didn't bring any protection because that's you might think of it as rude, but imagine if we get back to their place and they don't have any either.
Yeah, then you just don't play.
Or you go out and get some.
Anyways, I just felt like it was rude and abrupt, but they were okay with it. We grabbed an Uber and we met up at their place. We all went in the same Uber is what I mean. And we got there to their place, and their place was really cute and sweet. And they live with their sister.
Yeah.
They're a married couple, and it's the wife's sister that lives there, but she wasn't home at the time. And we get there, husband makes us drinks, and they're actually really good. It was a grapefruit soda with some vodka, and it was delicious.
It was really good, but for some reason when it comes to play, I don't like to drink as much. Partly because of my penis. I don't want to get whiskey dick by any means, but it's also not hard to give me whiskey dick. No pun intended.
It's easy to give? What do you mean? It's easy for you to get whiskey dick is what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So anyways, we're talking and chatting, and I can tell from your, what's it called?
My body language?
Your body language, yes. I can tell from your body language that you want everything to speed up and go towards play. And I don't like that. I fucking hate it. And I feel like you should be more go with the flow and flexible and easy to
Okay, so here's the thing. When we get to their place, we literally we sat on couches basically and talked for 4 or 5 hours. And don't get me wrong, the conversation was stimulating, but I was also fucking exhausted. I don't think I really slept the night before. I think I had maybe 4 or 5 hours. And so I'm fighting sleep, and I'm so tired. I don't even know if sex were to happen that I'd be able to perform. That's how tired I was. So for 4 hours, I'm not expecting to
Was it really 4 hours?
Yes.
It didn't seem like 4 hours.
I know. But for me, I was so exhausted. I'm just okay, are we doing this or are we not? I'd like to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them. I mean, the conversation was great. It was stimulating. It was fun. You were laughing. I was laughing. They were laughing. And at one point I saw, okay, so let's call him Jake because he does not work for State Farm, but I'm assuming he would look good in khakis. And we can call her, what's a good name for her?
Jane.
Jane. Okay. Oh man, we should have named him Dick. Fun with Dick and Jane.
No.
Very
it's
fitting.
Jake.
Not like fitting title wise. Anyway, so Jake and that's going to be confusing. Jake and Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at one point, Jake gets up and goes to the restroom. He comes back. I see him give her a nod. A couple minutes later, she gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back, looks back at him and says, or gives him a nod. And
I didn't see any of this.
well, I did. And it was like an oddity because it was another like 20, 30 minutes, it seemed like, before she initiated the play. And like, I wanted to, try to say something. I think it was just because I was like tired as fuck.
But I also felt like they were, I think they mentioned like they were just getting back into the swing of things.
See, that had never been messaged to me.
Oh, maybe that's where there was some miscommunication.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now.
Okay. Because I felt like you were, by your body language, I felt like you were pressuring a little bit. Or like
I hope that they didn't feel that because like that was not my intention. I was just like exhausted because I didn't get back from drinks with everyone on Friday night until like 1 o'clock I don't think I fell asleep until like 2 or 3 and then we had to be up at like 7.
Yeah.
And so and then you have like an entire day basically out in the sun.
And the sun just drains you. You're like exhausted.
Exactly my point. Then we had to rush to dinner and then we had like you were sleeping on the Uber to the bar where we met Jane and Jake.
Yeah.
So like that's just an indication as to how tired you were. Like you almost didn't want to go. And we actually almost canceled on them anyway because I was feeling kind of seasick after I got off of the yacht and it didn't hit me until I was in the shower. And like even when I was at the restaurant eating, like I would lean forward to like cut my steak or something. And I was like, whoa, I feel drunk. But I talked you out of canceling on them, and I'm so glad I talked you out of it. But yeah, we were both like just exhausted. And we got back to their place at like 10:30, 11. No, about 11:30.
Yeah.
And it was like 3:30 or something like that before anything happened. It might have been 2:30, so that would make like 3 hours. And so I'm fighting sleep at some points, and I don't know if my dick can perform. I'm that tired. So I was wanting to know if we were going to go to sleep or if we were going to go back to the hotel or if we were all going to like have coital interactions. And so at one point Jane gets up, grabs Jake's hand and took the business card from State Farm out of his hands and grabbed him by the hand and said that she was moving him, making him go somewhere else. And then she grabs my hand, which I don't know that you'd ever seen another woman who wasn't my mom grab my hand before. And so like I kind of tried to get out of it in a nice, polite way. Yeah, because like I didn't know how you would react because
I didn't even see any of that.
Yeah, you said you kind of like fell asleep for a second. See, you were exhausted too.
Yeah, I was exhausted.
But
oh yeah, and I remember like you're like, babe, and I was like, oh okay, we're doing this. So I got up from the couch that I was laying on. And I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. And so like we all get into their bedroom and Jane runs and uses the restroom real quick. And
then
Jake,
I go and use the restroom.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself.
I feel like we all went and used the restroom.
Nope. Just the ladies. But you didn't get up and use the bathroom yet. So while Jane is in the bathroom, Jake and you and I, he's explaining their boundaries.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so from there, Jane comes out of the bathroom. Jake fills him in, and basically their boundaries were no coitus. It's just going to be a soft swap, which we were totally fine with. And he's catching Jane up on that. And I said, okay, so what about like dry humping, grinding, stuff like that? Because like that can be very dangerous. But it's also one thing that we like to do, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just trying to make sure that they're okay with that too. And so right after I asked that question, Jane looks at Jake and was like, wait, no, we need to talk about our boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went out into the living room area and talked about their boundaries for a little bit. And that's when you went and used the bathroom and you came back, I think. And then they came back after a short while and kind of They relearned us their boundaries, if you will. That's terrible English, but
they reiterated their boundaries.
Yes, which had been updated. Apparently, coitus was on the table after all. So
yeah. So after that, she immediately takes off her dress.
Like, and when she took off, like she pulled the top down first, so you could see her tits. And I gotta say, I was thinking of like it's like Brian is always in my head or something from Port Swingers, because like when he says someone has like amazing tits, like that's what I was thinking of, Brian saying that. And I'm like, in my head, I'm agreeing with him 110%. They were absolutely amazing. And yeah, I don't remember how it started. I think like
you were a little speechless too.
Yeah, I was speechless.
Yeah, so she took off her dress and I felt like I had to take off my dress, so I did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I took off my dress and then like we were like sitting there for a minute and I think we finally made our moves on.
Oh yeah, you and Jake started making out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then her and I started making out, and she's like the first person in the lifestyle that can hold a candle to you in like kissing, because she does it very similarly to you, which is what I like.
Yeah.
A lot of it is mostly like no tongue, like somewhat
pop
of
kisses.
Kind of, but mostly like an open mouth, but no tongue. It's weird to me.
A little fish.
Yeah, I don't get it, because like I try to give tongue and then they never do, so then I feel weird trying to give tongue. And so I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't know how to do this. Like with almost every partner I've ever had in the lifestyle has been like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
But she was actually pretty good at it.
Yeah, like she's giving me tongue. She was just, oh, yes. Like, and then I could kind of tell like she wanted to kind of do some things different. Like instead of making out, maybe move to like me going down on her or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because like I think at one point, I don't know how I got the idea. Maybe like she said something, or maybe I just picked it up because off of what Jake was doing to you. But I could kind of tell that he was, or at least I thought he was doing almost like a normal, like almost like his normal routine on her, but on you.
Exactly. I feel like that's what most people do because that's what they're comfortable with.
Right. And so I picked up on that, or at least I thought I was picking up on that, and started to try to do the very similar things. I think the area where I failed her was like I didn't finger her. Apparently, I think that's a big thing for her.
Yeah.
And so, but like I went down on her for a minute. I think I accidentally licked her butthole, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, that's not my vibe. It's okay. But like from then on, I think like that kind of like, I don't know if it threw me off, but it threw me off orally, I think. And so eventually we start making out again. She blows me for a little bit. And then somehow I have a condom on, and
it just magically appears.
Okay, so before her and I start fucking, Jake is like making you just fucking like scream in a great way.
Yeah.
And like so much so that I think Jane and I stopped what we were doing, and I come over and I choke you, and she's playing with your tits, and I'm choking you while he's finger fucking you really hard.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you were waking up their sister.
I know. So her sister came home at some point, but like we were all in the bedroom. Me and Jake started making out, and I just love making out. But no one compares to like making out with my husband, but
she's lying.
I do like the thrill of making out with someone new, and he was pretty good at it. So he prefaced everything before we started getting all hot and sweaty that he usually takes like 2 or 3 dates to get comfortable enough with someone to have penetrative sex, which is, I feel like that's normal with some people because I've experienced that in the past. And so we start making out. I start like humping the shit out of him, and like my clothes are off, and I was like struggling to get his clothes off, but they finally come off, and like he just starts like fingering me like really well, actually. Like that's the best I've ever had from like I've orgasmed a bunch of times from him just fingering me. Yeah. Like he knew exactly what to do and what spots to hit.
He tried 3 different methods. Mm-hmm. He tried penetration, clitoral stimulation, and then like a combination of both.
Yes.
And then he would like read off of that and say, okay, this is what she likes.
Yeah,
and then
he's very good at reading. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's a med student.
Yeah, so he
does a lot of studying.
Superb. And so like he's over there doing that on me, and I'm like coming, like I feel like one after the other. Like he's doing pretty good. And then like you said, his wife, Jane, like stops in the middle and like you start choking me.
She's playing with your boobies.
She's playing with my titties and it just feels so good. And I kind of forget that his sister's there and I'm being really loud. And then I remember it just now. I'm like, oh God, his sister must think we're fucking crazy. But no, it was really fun. And then like, I think you start to ask her to like ride you or something when I next look over.
No. So her and I, like, we start fucking after you come from like when I was choking you.
Oh my God. And I must say, like, she made the most like cutest noises that I thought was like pretty hot. Like it was like these cute, like feminine little noises.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if those were good or bad.
I think they were good.
I hope they were good. So eventually I end up with a condom on we start making out a little bit after you guys do your thing. Well, after the choke thing, and we start making out and I ask her, should I put a condom on? And she's like, I think she said, she essentially said yes. And that sounds bad. She said yes. Consent was there. And so I put one on and I grabbed some lube and just kind of lube it up a little bit and just start going to town. Essentially it's a doggy style, but after a little bit, she pulls my head in closer. Her legs are not behind her head, but they're up in the air. And so at one point my head is like between her legs and she's like really just like almost, would you say she was screaming? Like she was pretty vocal and loud.
Yeah.
And like, I couldn't really tell because the sound is going off of her legs and chest into my ears. So it's not like
So it was like a little echo effect.
It was a loud echo.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
And so, not complaining. But anyway, so she like orgasms from that. And so, which is funny because, so early on into that, no, I think it was doggy style. So after that, we transition into doggy style. And I come from that in about 2 seconds, but I keep it quiet. Like I don't let her know that I came because when I come with you, you get dejected. And so I didn't want that to happen to her. And so I kept it quiet, just kind of kept humping. I didn't go fully soft and I got fully hard again. And so after probably a couple minutes of doggy, she pushes me out like she kegeled or something.
She kegeled you out.
And I got her to come again from doggy. And then while that's going on, he's still finger fucking you. And you're still having like the time of your life.
Yes.
Did he have you in like doggy style but fingering you from behind or something?
So we attempted doggy, but like it wasn't really working. But before that, I did like blow him and I did get him hard. So we attempted doggy and it just wasn't working out. And then I finally laid on my back and he was just finger fucking me some more. And I think his wife, Jane, wanted to get in on it. And at that point, he was finger fucking the both of us.
Yes. Okay. So she came from doggy and then her and I kind of like took like a 10-second break. And then she asked her husband to like finger fuck her. And then he did both of you at the same time, got you to come first.
Yeah, because he was using his right hand.
Yeah, his dominant hand.
It was good. It was so good.
And then he got her to come, I think. And then he went and used the restroom or something. So at this point, I already had the condom off and I was just like basically sitting on your face.
Yeah, and I was blowing you and licking your balls.
Yeah. You loved that, didn't you?
I did love that.
Yeah. But I mean, that was pretty much it for play. I mean, I think we just like talked about everything.
Yeah, we were just like in a little puddle on the bed post.
You didn't squirt though.
I was pretty wet and like squirted a little bit on his hand, but I honestly tried not to because that wasn't my bed and I didn't want to ruin it.
Okay? I know. I think after everything was said and done, I think I said to them, "Hey, good job. You made it through without having to replace your carpets." Shout out Destiny and Daniel.
Oh my God, stop. But yeah, it was a really good time and I'm so glad. And like, it made me want to have like more full swap situations or 50-50 situations, but preferably full swap situations with my husband.
Yeah, I think that was the big takeaway was like, I really wanted to do more. Like I'd been preaching that for like a year that I wanted to do more stuff together.
Yeah.
And I think that this kind of helped you see that.
Yeah, definitely.
And so that was amazing. Fucking amazing. And if you two are listening, thank you so much for that incredible night.
Yeah, I hope you guys still like us.
Yes. Hope you still like us. So then the next day we did something that the next day we did nothing. Like we missed brunch with the people that we were like hanging out with all day on the boat. We missed that because we were fucking exhausted.
We got home at like what, 4 or 5 in the morning?
I think it was 5.
5 in the morning?
Yeah.
We went, got to the hotel, picked up a snack from the front desk, and then like went upstairs and crashed fucking hard.
Yeah.
And we extended our checkout by like an hour. We were like, we need the sleep.
Yeah. And so we get up at like 10 and shower and get packed and everything. And we go check into our new hotel where you just like, we were going to try to go to the Nude beach. And we were both so tired. And like, I am not a napper. I do not take naps. I can't sleep for naps. Can't sleep for shit. And so we sit down and we're trying to find something to do. So we go eat at the IHOP that's right next to the hotel. And we come back and we're trying to find someone on a dating app or something that we can go hang out with. And we're like, okay, we'll go to the Nude beach, but wake me up in an hour. And so 8 hours into a 1 hour nap.
Hey, you nap too, you said, okay?
Yeah, I did. I did for about an hour. And so I spent 7 hours on my own, just like going through the same shit on Facebook, Twitter.
Like, he was so quiet. He said he didn't turn on the TV because he didn't want to wake me. And I thought that was so sweet.
It was funny because when you woke up, I had the sound on for my YouTube videos. I was like, fuck it, it's 8 hours in.
She's going to wake up.
Yeah. And so then after that, we just got like Uber Eats or something. We got different orders. And you got some actual empanadas, not some half ones. And
they're called arepas, babe. Arepas. Well, empanadas is what you had. It's like a triangle.
Okay. And so then the next day, it was Monday, and we wake up. We go drop our luggage off at like a luggage drop-off place, which was a nightmare because the first place was still advertising and selling it as a service, even though they stopped doing it 2 years ago. So then we had to find a new place, an Uber over there.
Yeah.
And so then we do that, and then we get in the Uber to go to the Nude beach, and the Uber driver confirms with us that we're going to a nude beach. And we're like, yeah, we know.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like there was like a on TripAdvisor there was a guy, a dad that left a 2-star review of this beach because it's not family friendly, and he thought it was, and he didn't leave it a 1-star. He left it a 2-star, which means he liked what he saw. And I just thought that was funny. But like the Uber driver, we had like a good conversation the whole time.
I hope you tipped him well, because
I mean, I hope I did too.
Is like,
well, tipping well is subjective, but I hope that he liked the tip that I did give him. Anyway, well, I asked you at some point during the day what point or what percentage you would be getting naked at the Nude beach. I thought you said 6%, but apparently you said 60%.
60.
Yeah. So anyway, we get to the Nude beach. We get our umbrella, we get our chairs, and I sit down. And like I'm contemplating sometime within like the next 10 minutes, I'll get naked. And I feel your hand on my shoulder. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you just taking off your chacos? Like, what are you doing? I look over, your tits are out. You're taking off your bathing suit. And in the back of my mind, like, I'm like, just try not to drool. Like, I was
just try not to get a little hard on at the fucking Nude beach. I feel like that would be weird.
Oh, Pepe got a little excited. He was tingling a little bit. He was like, let me at Brenda. You know, like he was excited a little bit. And like my brain was also excited because I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think you'd be comfortable enough.
Yeah.
Which is why you see on our Twitter account, goal for the day, get Kelly comfortable or help Kelly get comfortable enough to get nude at a nude beach. I didn't fucking think in the world, like, in my wildest dreams that you'd have been naked before I was at the nude beach, because I'm the one always walking around the house naked. You're like never naked around the house, which is terrible. But so anyway, like it was just an amazing time at the nude beach. We went swimming.
I didn't feel pressured to get naked. I just felt like I felt comfortable enough to get naked, which was honestly like a great environment to be in. Like I do not like tan lines, so it worked out for me.
I love how you're still using that as an excuse.
It's not an excuse. Like, I hate tan lines.
No. I'm just making fun, teasing.
But it was a really good time. And there was a lot of like attractive people there. Like it ranged from like super young college kids to like really older people and like everything in between. And I just love the vibe. So we'll definitely go back again when we go back to Miami, which we're already planning to go back in June.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
I mean, I did catch a couple people looking at you, and it was like one guy was so funny. But when you were tanning for like an hour, I didn't know what to do, so I would just like count boats on the horizon.
I guess you were just afraid to like ogle, stare.
Yeah, I didn't want to stare because there was, like you said, there were so many attractive people.
Yeah. I thought it was funny that you were counting the little sailboat.
And there was like one time, like towards the end of it, the same guy that I caught checking you out, he's walking by again, and you were asking about counting the sailboats, or you said, I don't see any fucking sailboats out there. And so then I start pointing to them, and like the guy that checked you out is walking by at the same time. I start pointing to them, and he starts looking around trying to find him himself. I thought it was hilarious. But no, there's so many just attractive people and it was hard not to like be a peeping Tom. But hopefully I did a successful job of not being a peeping Tom and just kind of respecting the visual boundaries of everyone and the comfort levels of everyone. But I mean, like swimming in the ocean
naked
is so good.
It's so fucking fun. Oh, God. Yeah. That's the best part, honestly.
Yeah.
Was swimming in the ocean naked.
Yeah, it really was. Oh, so freeing. Like now, I hope now you know why I like being nude.
I can understand it a little bit.
It has nothing to do with sexuality. Don't get me wrong. If I see you naked, like, but I feel like the more you would be naked, like the less like sexual it would be, because like most of the time when you are naked, it is because we're doing something sexual.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Also, I will say this though. There were times where like attractive people would walk by and I'm just laying there naked and I'm like, and in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, please think I'm attractive. Please think I'm attractive. Please think you know what I'm saying? Like, I know we weren't going to have sex with them or anything, but it still would be like a nice like compliment, I think. But yeah, so then after about 4 or 5 hours of that fun, we got food at the food truck that was there on the beach, and then we left and got our luggage and went to the airport.
Straight to the fucking airport.
Yes,
I didn't. Salty waterness still on our bodies.
Yeah, I still had sand on my dick for like till the next day when I showered.
Yeah,
and
we get back here to where we live, and it's like we go from like 82-degree weather to like 43 degrees.
Getting off the plane, and I'm in my fucking bathing suit.
Yeah, Adam was in his bathing suit. I was in some shorts and a short sleeve shirt.
Well, you found your sweatshirt.
And I found my little sweatshirt.
I did not
thing.
pack one.
It was fucking cold, man.
It wasn't that bad until the wind started blowing. Like if the wind wasn't blowing, it was tolerable. Like it was still cold, but it was tolerable. So that is our weekend.
And it was bomb.
Like, I honestly don't know what the best part is. Like I was telling you this earlier. I don't know if it was meeting all the like-minded people, if it was the foursome, if you want to call it that, the 50-50. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was the nude beach. Like there was three main aspects of that vacation, and all of them are candidates for the best part of it.
I enjoyed all of it, and I loved it, and we're definitely going back.
To relive this weekend would be amazing.
Aww.
So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TNR Podcasts. Yes, that is plural. Buy our merch on fullswapshop.com. And next week, we've got a treat for you. We've got a new segment that we are fucking pumped to partner with this new company. So I'm really excited for this one. I think you guys are going to like it. It's going to be a monthly thing. And with some stuff for you guys as well. So anyway, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and let us know what you think of all of this. And let us know what you think about this last episode, about our weekend. I mean, you guys kind of saw a lot on Twitter and Instagram because you were posting a little bit on Instagram.
Yeah, what?
So you mentioned you want to get back at it a lot more consistent. I think that would be great. To quote Tony the Tiger, I think they'd be great. And so, yeah, am I missing anything?
No. Bye.
Bye.